by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Get ready for another roller coaster day here on Wall Street after a nearly 1,200-point loss for the Dow yesterday. I'm Diane King Hall at the New York Stock Exchange with more on the day ahead for the markets.
We've reached another deadline for the sale of the Emerson Lawn. Coming up, I take a look at what that deadline was and what it means for the sale.
6:30 on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. All eyes are on the stock market today after a huge day of losses yesterday. The Dow had its largest one-day point drop in history.
Markets in Asia and Australia also experienced a downturn overnight. But as CBS's Diane King Hall explains from Wall Street, by and large, the mood there, not one of panic.
A deeply down day on Wall Street led to much of the same on the other side of the globe. Asian markets continued the downward slide this morning. Australia also felt the sting of what many analysts are calling a looming correction.
The stock market has gone too far too fast. It is just appropriate to hit the reset button.
Markets slumped for a slew of reasons, chief among them rising interest rate fears. Still, it has become the biggest global sell-off since 2016. The Dow lost 1,175 points by day's end. A big drop, but again, something market watchers saw coming.
It's very quiet in there, very orderly, no panic. So I honestly don't think there's much to panic about.
And that's the advice for you from financial planners. Don't panic. If you have money in the market, view it as a long-term investment that over the long run is expected to grow.
What would happen if I put $10,000 into the stock market right after the president was elected? And even with this two-day sell-off, that $10,000, it would be worth $13,280 today.
President Trump, who is often taking credit for the recent stock market rise, is also heeding that advice. A White House spokesperson released a statement saying, quote, "The president's focus is on our long-term economic fundamentals, which remain exceptionally strong." Diane King Hall, CBS News, Wall Street.
Now, Diane tells us another reason analysts say they're not overly concerned. One factor that contributed to the downswing in markets is actually some good news. The Labor Department reported Friday that wages had gone up almost 3% in January compared with a year earlier. That's the fastest growth in almost a decade. So there you go.
Interesting.
Again, I was telling you, I've insulated. I have yet to lose a dime in the stock market.
That's good. Good for you.
I've yet to make a dime either.
Yeah.
But I'm even right now,
That's good.
which is
Even
not all
keel.
bad.
Hey,
that's not all bad.
it's a good place to be,
A little
huh?
market correction.
Hey,
Yeah.
I roll my dice every day on the fact that the weather temperatures are going to match my forecast.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
We're going for
Life's
it.
a gamble,
Yeah,
buddy.
It is.
Take the chance.
Baby needs new shoes.
Yeah.
All right. Temperature-wise, we're holding into the 20s and 30s. We've got teens not too far away. Very cold conditions in eastern Montana. We are expecting to see some light snow off and on for the day today. Temperatures should top out near the 30-degree mark for most areas in western Montana. The farther west you go, the warmer the temperatures will be. But we're going to see a little correction in our weather forecast, not because of my mistake. Mother Nature is dragging some moisture and some warmer air our way. Impacts of that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, High Roller. Now 6:34 on this Tuesday. We continue to follow the plans for the Emerson Lawn as the Bozeman School Board is nearing a decision. MTN's Morgan Davies takes a look at what deadline was set for yesterday and the possibilities for the property in the future.
At the last board meeting, members decided to ask those who submitted proposals for the Emerson Lawn to take some more time and if they would like to come back by February 5th with a final outline. The board did this because the proposals they had received before that meeting were valued much lower than what the Emerson Lawn was appraised at, over $2 million.
It's been a great piece of property for the district for many, many years. There's a lot of history, a lot of nostalgia behind it as well. That in mind, we're also faced with a lot of budget constraints as a district, and we continue to lean on the taxpayers to continue this growth of our schools.
The school board can choose not to accept any of the proposals if they feel they are not getting the appropriate funds for the lawn. If this happens, they will place the lawn up for sale at its appraised value. The next meeting for board members will be on February 12th. Reporting from the Wilson School, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
Now, the money made from the sale of the lawn would go to buying 2 new properties for future elementary schools for the Bozeman School District.
In other news this morning, a Bozeman man is accused of kidnapping and assault after a woman claimed she had to jump from a moving vehicle to escape his repeatedly hitting her. 26-year-old Garrett Patrick Grawl allegedly began hitting the woman after she picked him up from work at Big Sky late Saturday night. Court documents say Grawl was drinking, insisted on driving, and hit the woman in the face and arms multiple times. The woman said although she asked Grawl to stop the vehicle, he refused and continued to hit her. As they approached Four Corners, the woman jumped out of the vehicle and ran to a store and called 911. In Justice Court, Grawl's bail was set at $100,000. He was ordered to have no contact with the victim and remains 1,000 feet from her at all times.
In other court headlines, a Belgrade woman was arrested Sunday after allegedly crashing her vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and with 3 children inside that vehicle. Amanda Ani appeared in Gallatin County Justice Court on felony charges of criminal child endangerment. According to court documents, Montana Highway Patrol trooper responded to a single vehicle crash around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. Trooper reported that a breath test showed Ani with more than twice the legal limit of alcohol in her system. She was released on her own recognizance and required to submit to a random test for alcohol.
And one person is dead after a head-on collision on Monday night on Highway 212 between Joliet and Boyd. Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palin said the accident happened when one vehicle headed towards Red Lodge attempted to pass a snowplow and collided with another vehicle headed north towards Billings. That section of the Highway 212 was shut down to traffic while emergency crews worked that scene. 71-year-old Mike Kreider of Billings said he was driving back to Billings after a day of skiing at Red Lodge when, through the blowing snow and from the plow, he saw 2 headlights coming his direction. Kreider's Jeep was totaled in the crash, but he suffered only minor bumps and bruises. Kreider was wearing his seatbelt at the time. He tells us several other vehicles were also involved in that crash as they slid into each other, trying to avoid the accident scene.
Elsewhere, the alleged pimp accused of trafficking women and children in Montana for commercial sex testified in his own defense in Billings yesterday. Terrence Edwards spent 7 hours on the witness stand, and he's not done. During a long day of testimony yesterday, Terrence Edwards described himself as a writer, entrepreneur, and a romantic. Prosecutors have yet to question Edwards about his claim that he operated a perfectly legal escort service. Edwards, who has served prison time before for prostitution, says the women he employed went behind his back and had sex for money. 3 women testified about the physical and emotional abuse they experienced from Edwards, but he claims he loved them and treated the women well. Defense shared images with jurors of handbags that Edwards made in prison. He claims the 3 teenage girls he transported from North Dakota to Billings intended to model those purses for Edwards' upcoming website, not work as prostitutes. Now, Edwards admitted to most of the events, timelines, and actions presented by prosecutors, but offered different motivations for each claim. Edwards will resume testifying later this morning.
We do have to take a quick break, and up next it is your Montana Maid of the Week, and it's a little bit of a sweet treat for you.
One of my favorite places in Helen.
Yes, love this story. But first, a quick peek for your headlines coming up at 7 right here on CBS.
Good morning ahead on CBS this morning. Melody Hobson is in Studio 57 with the Dow's historic plunge and its impact on your 401k. She's talking to her sources about how investment firms are reacting. And we'll reveal Oprah's newest book club selection. And the author will join us at the table. See you at 7.